and X.com. Let's go live on TikTok. Hello, TikTok. Welcome to the evolution of semantic brain decoders. Everybody, welcome. We're here. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to just put them down here so we can address your questions. And basically, we're going to talk about the evolution of the semantic brain decoders. I've been used to utilize this technology against my will, and this is one of the reasons why I'm just creating this series of videos so everybody knows what's going on in this country. Okay. Again, this is being done without my consent. The evolution of semantic brain decoders. Uh, and basically, I'm going to talk about the foundation of brain decoding and neural signaling and the introduction to brain decoding, the concept and historical background. That's the first part that I'm going to cover. So let's go. Good morning, good afternoon. Uh, about half an hour in Miami talking about semantic brain decoder. So welcome to today's uh, class here, a small seminar on semantic brain decoders. Today, we're going to dive in one of the most fascinating areas of modern neuroscience science and artificial intelligence, AI, the decoding of human thoughts and intentions. And to me, this is a very important topic because we today currently we have people that they are decoding your thoughts and your intentions without your consent. And nobody's doing nothing because there's no laws. This is new technology, and most of the time, um, the way that the political system, United States and around the world, is like we tend to vote for old people, okay? And old people are behind on technology. So these old folks that are in the Congress know about some information, but they have not put the laws to protect you, okay? So if you get this information, talk with your representatives, talk with your congressman, and let them know what's going on. Okay. Again, we have people in the law enforcement utilizing the coding human thoughts and your intentions. Um, as I'm going to continue to talking about this, I am going to disclose some information based on my current experience with this technology. Okay. So I've been with this technology already for five years, to my knowledge. So let's go ahead and start working and giving you the concepts of history so you understand the technology, and then we're going to move forward and we're going to disclose everything like where, how, and where because in por qué, okay? So the brain decoding refers to techniques that interpret brain signals and convert them into meaningful outputs, such as words, actions, or images. The interdisciplinary field has seen remarkable progress, particularly with the advent of machine learning and functional neuroimagining technologies like fMRI. I am going to talk about what is a fMRI in a little bit, okay? The journey into brain computer interfaces, learn about this acronym because throughout the next 2 hours or hour and a half, we're going to be talking about brain computer interfaces, and that's called BCIs. Okay, BCIs began around a decade ago. Okay, that's more than 10 years. Okay, with the goal of assisting people with severe motor impairments, allowing them to control prosthetics or even communicate with decoding motors intentions. But over the last 10 years, we have shifted from decoding simple motor actions to interpreting more complex cognitive content, such as language, emotions, and abstract thoughts. The first wave of BCIs brain computer interfaces focus on direct brain interfaces to control external devices like robotics arms or neuroprosthetics using electrodes implanted into the brain. For example, neurodecoding of motor intentions was a key focus, allowing people with paralysis to operate technology with their minds. This work extensively published in neuroscience journals like the Journal of Neuroscience of 2021. Okay, the way for the next evolution, semantic decoding. So if you are want to find more information, okay, go to the Journal of Neuroscience, okay, which you're gonna find there a lot of technologies and a lot of truthful documentation about semantic brain decoders and anything related with your brain. Okay, uh, the rise of semantic brain decoders. Okay, so before I jump to the second part of this, so you understand basically. Let's say that this technology was created for this purpose around 17 to 20 years ago, 20 years ago. Okay, let's say that you got in a car accident and your brain, half of your brain is not working properly, and you lose your ability to move your arm, okay? Or you don't even have an arm, okay? So they put a prosthetic and a cable used to go to your brain, and if you wanted to move your arm, you could able to grab a cup and something, or grab something. It was something like that, you know what I mean? Like 20 years ago. Now, you fast forward with technology, artificial intelligence, neural networks, and all these different things, 6G technology, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now we have a whole different thing, okay? Before, everything was like you used to put an electrode. Let's say that you got a stroke, okay? Normally, and this happens today. You get a stroke and you lose your ability to talk. So back in the days, 20 years ago, this technology, we put electrodes, a cap with a bunch of sensors, okay, and you will like to your thoughts, you will talk and say, "I want water," and there was a printer. It will come out a little strip that says, "I want water," and they will bring you water, and that's how you used to communicate. Now there's no electrodes. Now it's like Wi-Fi operation that you just connect. Your brain connects to your phone, okay? Just like that, okay? And we will talk about this is the technologies that are like we're going to be able to have the ability to we will have the ability to this turn off and turn off light systems on smart homes. We're going to be able to do coffee, do all different kind of things inside of a smart home, okay, connected through Wi-Fi. But we'll talk about that later on in a different. But we're going to talk about the basics of everything, okay? The rise of semantic brain decoding. Let's now move into the realm of semantic decoding, which builds upon this earlier technique but goes much farther. Semantic decoding refers to interpreting the meaning behind the brain activity rather than simply identifying words or motor movement. In this area, recent breakthroughs have been nothing short of revolutionary. In 2023, researchers from the University of Texas Austin, including Jerry Tan and Alexander Hutt, made a major advance in this field by developing a non-invasive system that can decode continuous narrative from brain activity. Their model, these researchers that we're talking about are the guys, the pioneers that of this technology. These are the researchers, the professor Alex Huth and Jerry Tang from the University of Texas, like 17 or 18 years ago. But on 2023, they are opening up and talking about major advancement in this field by developing a non-invasive system that they can decode continuous narrative from a brain activity. So it means uh, they have the ability through BCIs to brain decoders uh, to know what are you thinking constantly. as a non-invasive. They don't have to open your brain. They don't, no, no. They just get that information because we're an antenna and your brain is always giving out signals. Okay. Their model doesn't just interpret isolated word, it can understand complex following semantic content. This technology was able to reconstruct stories directly from your brain activity patterns recorded via fMRI, which is a breakthrough in terms of decoding continuous thoughts in terms of isolated words. A key paper published in Nature Neuroscience on 2021 discussed how transformer based AI models were integrated with brain activity data to predict not only words but also the meaning and context behind those words. This opened up a new possibility for application from assisting people with speech impairment to potentially enable new forms of human computer interactions, national security, and people now have the ability to abuse your constitutional rights. Okay, that's a different translations of what I am reading, but just being very honest about what is currently happening. Let me see if I can find. Okay. So some people might be upset because I am doing this, and you know what? Here's what I have to say. You should ask before you tap on someone else's brain. Okay. I was not born to allow a federal government to tap into my brain without my consent. And we currently have in the Miami area, uh, Jared Chelsmat. He used to be a Coast Guard. He used to work with me in the Coast Guard when I was in the military, 20 something years ago, okay? 20, 23, 24 years ago. And somehow he has developed and he's part of utilizing this technology. um, I know he's not smart. Okay, so he's just a user of this technology. He's not a developer. He's not none of that. Okay, he's not that smart. He doesn't understand computing and doesn't understand a lot of things. But he's utilizing that, and he's on law enforcement. And basically, what they're doing is this. They are interrogating people while you asleep. Okay, so that's the reason with a lot of people don't know about how is this being done, because they come at you at you are asleep. A good way to understand how this happens is like when you go to sleep, you go on different stages, okay? But if you get wake up immediately, you're gonna see what's happening, okay? So I suggest you to ask for someone to wake you up when you're asleep, that you're like 2 hours asleep, that they wake you up. And there you're gonna like your brain, you're gonna catch what is happening in your brain, okay? Um, let's see. So basically, a new artificial intelligence called Semantic Decoder can translate person brain activity while listening to a story or silently imagining telling a story into continuous streams of text. The system, developed by researchers at the University of Texas at Austin, might help people who are mentally conscious yet unable to physically speak, such as the ability by stroke to communicate intelligently again. The study, published in the journal Nature Neuroscience, was led by Jerry Tang, a doctoral student in computer science, and Alex Huth, an assistant professor of neuroscience and computer science at Austin, Texas. The work relies in part by transformer models similar to the ones that powers OpenAI, ChatGPT, and Google Bard. Now, Bard is Gemini. Okay. Um, I am going to get more information because based on my research that I have conducted on this for the past 5 years ago, I know there's more students that are part of the crew, the initial crew that they're working with Jerry Tang and Mr. Alex Hoth. So I am going to give them credit because I think that what they have done is a great job um, discovering and coming on with this technology. Okay. My hats off to Dr. Jerry Tang and Mr. Alex Hoth and their assistants and everything that they have done. I don't have no problems with them at all. I do have problems with law enforcement, federal agents utilizing these technologies against your will and without your consent and without you having a lawyer next to you. Okay, that's what I have a problem with. My constitutional rights being violated by federal employees. Okay, not the professors and the researchers that have conducted this technology, and there are other people doing other types of technology. I just want to be very, very clear with this, okay? I do not have any problems or any I'm a researcher myself. I'm an inventor myself as well, and I am not in any way, shape, or form upset with the people from University of Texas, Austin, or MIT, Harvard, and other places that this has been happening in DARPA. No, I don't have no problem with none of these people. I do have problems with the end user of the technology that is utilizing the technology against my will, against your will, and is utilizing this technology without your consent, and is violating your constitutional rights on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, year after year. Okay, I do have a problem with that. So let's continue talking about this. Okay, unlikely other language decoding systems in development, this system does not require subjects to have surgical implants, making the process non-invasive. Participants also do not need to use any only words from prescribed lists. Brain activity is measured using an fMRI scanner after extensive training of the decoder, in which the individual listening to hours of podcast in the scanner. Later provided that the participant is open to having their thoughts decoded, they're listening to a new story or imagine telling a story allow the machine to generate corresponding text from a brain activity alone. So basically, we know that our brain is always sending a signal, and the best way that I can describe that is every person have their own frequency. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you also the frequencies that are being used because that is your frequency of your brain. So we are all different, we all think different, but we all have different frequencies. Okay, so that's how they are tapping to your frequency. Back in the day, you like purchase a scanner, when the cell phones were new, the technology of cell phones were new, the scanners were able to pick up on everybody's conversation. You just have to have a scanner, and I think you used to put them on 700, 800 signal, or yeah, 7 or 800. I can remember that megahertz, and you were able to get all the channels of all the different um, phones talking around your antenna on your scanner, and you will like listen there, everything. Okay, just like the same technology now. There's scanners getting into your brain. How are there those scanners? If you drive by your city, you will see antennas everywhere. Okay, and those antennas are being used. If you are in the Miami-Dade area, you go to Biscayne Boulevard, you go to the Bayfront Park, you will see that Crown Castle were installing antennas, and those antennas are spread away around neighborhoods. Those antennas are in front of schools. Those antennas are in front of banks information. Those antennas are everywhere, okay? And they're utilizing those antennas that they're needed for your phone, they're needed for um, your um, your EVs, your vehicles to have more information, and XYZ different kind of things, okay? So, for a non-invasive method, this is a real leap forward compared to what has been done before, which is typically single words or short sentences. Mr. Hoth said, we're getting the model to decode continuous language or extended period of time with complicated ideas. So this was in 2021. We are in 2026. Okay, imagine. You just need to think how artificial intelligence work. It's constantly evolving. So this now, um, you're thinking about your password of your bitcoins. Okay, if you're thinking about your password of your bitcoins, someone else is getting that password. Okay, your password of your email. Okay, um, if you're thinking a good idea, if you're thinking that you're going to go out and you're going to go out and say, hey, I am thinking of going tonight to this nightclub, and I am thinking of calling so and so, and I'm like, someone else is getting that. Okay, so just so you will understand how this is working. Okay, the result is not for word transcript. Instead, researchers designed it to capture the gist of what is being said or thought, uh, albeit imperfectly. About half of the time, when the coder has been trained to monitor participant brain activity, the machine produces text that closely and sometimes precisely matches the intended meaning of the original words. This was in 2021. Today is more precise, you know what I mean? But hey, there's way to play the artificial intelligence. There are also ways that I have been a successful develop to evade the semantic brain decoders activity in my brain. Okay, but I'm not part of the research. This is my information. For example, in experiments, and a participant listening to a speaker say, "I don't have my driver's license yet," had their thought translated as, "She has not even started to learn to drive yet." Listening to the words, um, I didn't know whether to scream, cry, run away instead of say, "Leave me alone." I didn't know whether to scream, cry, or run away. Instead, I say, "Leave me alone." What's the code says started to scream and cry, and then she just say, "I'm told you to leave me alone." So let me see if I am able. I am gonna be okay. You're right. Let's see if I am able to here. Mhm. Okay, I'm able to show people right now what I am reading. Uh, so basically, let's see if I can, what I am sharing can be seen. Yes, 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 and yes. So basically, let me just show you more. This is an on the left side. It says actual. Ya, él estaba por afuera. No, yeah, everything okay. Uh, so actual the left side on the screen is the actual stimulus, okay? And this is your thought. This is exactly what your thought said. And then on the right side of the screen, you will see the decoded stimulus of how The artificial intelligence is decoding your brain thoughts. Okay, so just I want for you to like look at the screen if you are on YouTube and x.com and Twitch. I am not able to share screen my screen share my my laptop because I still don't have stream keys from TikTok, and this is a process that I have to go through. Once that I get those stream keys, I am going to be able to be more cool with everybody at TikTok. So for now, um, the actual stimulus says I got up from the air mattress and pressed my face against the glass of the bedroom window, expecting to see eyes starting back at me, but instead finding only darkness. The decoded stimulus says I just continued to walk up to the window and open the glass. I stood on my toes and peered out. I didn't see anything and looked up again. I saw nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. This image shows decoder predictions from brain recordings collected while user listened to four stories only. Okay, so if you know how models work and artificial intelligence work, basically with more time and more training and more listening and more, the systems are able to predict and are able to provide better data. Okay, so uh, from brain recordings collected while the user listening to four story example segments were manually selected and annotated to demonstrate typically decoder behaviors. The decoder exactly reproduced some words and phrases and capture gaze of many more. Credit to the University of Austin, Texas. Um, so actual stimulus was I didn't know whether to scream, cry, or run away. Instead, I say, leave me alone. I don't need your help. Adam, disappear, and I clean up alone crying. The decoded prediction said, started to scream and cry, and then she just said, I told you to leave me alone. You can hurt me anymore. I'm sorry. And then storm off. I thought he had left. I started to cry. You see, it was 6 years ago was kind of off, but with training and training and training, all these models get more robust, and the servers get faster and more precise. And beginning with an early version of the paper that appears as preprint online, the researchers address questions about potential misuse of the technology. The paper described how the coding worked only with cooperative participant who has participated willingly in the training the decoder. Result for individuals who on whom the decoder had not been trained were unintelligible, and a participant on whom the decoder has been trained later put up resistance. For example, by thinking other thoughts, results were similarly unusable. We take very seriously the concern that it could be used for bad purposes. Again, Jared Chosmat, I believe he's working for the Department of Homeland Security slash Federal Bureau Investigation. Okay, and I am mad at them. Okay, because what have happened in here is that federal employees protect other federal employees, and he's okay. Oh, we're gonna get his back, and everybody inside of the federal government have orchestrated and manipulated abuse against me and the residents of Miami-Dade County and a lot of residents in other counties, but I am just talking where I'm at right now. This was currently also happening while I was living in Palm Beach County. Okay, and when I was living in West Palm Beach. Okay, so I can say that when I was in West Palm Beach and when I've been in Miami-Dade County, it's been happening. And while I am also in Broward County as well, or anywhere that I've been traveling in the state of Florida since I moved back in here. Um, we take very seriously the concern that it could be used for bad purposes and have worked to avoid that. Tang say, we want to make sure people only use this type of technologies when they want to, and that it helps them. Okay, that is not helping me at all. In addition to having participants listening or thinking about stories, the researchers asked subject to watch for short silent videos, while in the scanner, the semantic decoder was able to use their brain activity to accurately describe certain events from the videos. The system currently is not practical for use outside of the laboratory because its reliance on the time needed on fMRI machine. But the researchers thinks this work could transfer to others. More portable brain imaging systems such as functional near infrared spectroscopy, FNIRS. Let me repeat that again. Functional near infrared spectroscopy. Okay, FNIRS measures where there's more or less blood flow in the brain at different points in time, which it turns out is exactly the same kind of signal that the fMRI is measuring. How to say? So our exact kind of approach should translate to fNIRS, although he noted that resolution with fNIRS will be lower. Okay, and here, this is Dr. Uh, Mr. Jerry Tang. Okay, right in here, this is Jerry Tang, PhD student Jerry Tang. See, prepare to collect prepares to collect brain activity data in the Biomedical Imaging Center at the University of Texas, Austin. The researchers are training their semantic decoder on dozens of hours of brain activity data for participants collected in an MRI scanner. So let's review this. Okay, this is a MRI scanner. Okay, so if you if you been in MRI scanner, okay, the MRI scanner is going to scan whatever the doctor prescribed, but the way that these scanners work, they scan everything. You know, they just only send what the doctor requests, right? So other sources get your frequency. So if you've been to an MRI scanner, okay, and I'm gonna be very honest with you, if you ever go anywhere else and you step into a machine that behaves like an MRI scanner, know that that machine is also taking your brain signal as well. Okay? I am not saying what machine is, but if you're smart and if you've been into an MRI scanner, you can just search what it does MRI scanner. An MRI scanner, what it does is have a magnet going in circles, and you when you're inside there, you can hear them. So if you are anywhere around the world and someone tells you, get in here, please, and you see a machine again going in circle, but you're not laying down, hello, they're getting your brain activity um and ID, just like getting the ID of a cell phone or just getting an ID of anything, okay? I think that that's very simple now to understand. This work was supported by the White House Foundation, the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, and the Burroughs Wel- Wellcome Fund. You can find more information about those foundations and funds that are supporting this research in the University of Austin, Texas. There's other foundations and there are also other type of funds in other university in United States of America. They're currently doing and advancing what Mr. Jerry Tang, the PhD student, that he's a doctor by now after all this remarkable work, working alongside with Alex Huth and professors and other people that I am going to talk about later on. Okay. All right. So now that we got that out away, you will see that I am not making things up. I'm reading it from the horse mouth. This was University of Texas paper, and that was posted online. And I had so much information about, if you want to connect yourself. I have everything, repos. I have all everything that you need to do to connect and have your own system as well for research. Um, uh, So, hello, everybody on TikTok. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So basically, copyright and disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. This video is for educational and information purposes only. It may contain copyrighted material, the use of which has not always been specifically authorized by the copyright owner. This content is made available in accordance with Sections 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, which allow for fair use of copyrighted material for criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. I am a researcher and I am conducting research. So anything that you see on my screens, this is my copyright disclaimer because I am utilizing this information for research and I am doing the research live, not just behind the scenes. All copyright content used in this video remains the property of the respective owner. So I just show you a piece and uh, a blog post from the University of Austin, Texas. And due to that, I am giving this copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Okay, this video is for educational and information purposes only, and I am conducting my research on semantic brain decoders for approximately already 4.5 or 5 years already. Okay, and I am just sharing this information with all of you in YouTube. Twitch, TikTok, X, everybody around the world. Thank you very much for being in here. Thank you for hi, everybody on TikTok. Hello. Ta 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 ta. Thank you. Tick 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 tick. So basically, now that I have to do, so everybody that is adding me to do adding me to try to do a co-host, I am doing this. Once that I finish with this, I am going to go ahead and do adding co-hosts and invite people to guest in so we can talk about semantic brain decoders. So basically, uh, let's go ahead and okay. Uh, Decoding the brain activities, methods, and techniques. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Let's now take a closer look at how semantic decoding actually works. Uh, Both from a technical and practical perspective, the core technology behind most brain decoders is fMRI, a non-invasive imaging technique that detects changes in blood flow in the brain. The critical because increased blood flow indicates that certain brain regions are active and processing information. The fMRI scanner captures temporal and spatial pattern of neural activity as subject listen to stories, visualize concept, or even imaging actions. So the semantic decoders are Meta also is doing currently doing research. Uh, Mark Zuckerberg team. Uh, um, let's see. So basically, let me see here. Meta is utilizing he's utilizing using AI to decode language from the brain and advance our understanding of human communication. Let me just go ahead and transfer this to everyone. Uh-huh. So you're able to see it. Um, so you're able to see this using AI to decode language from the brain. This is at AI dot meta.com/blog/brain AI research human communication. Okay. And this was done on uh, today. Okay. Today we have this information. Over the last 10 years, the Meta Fundamental Artificial Intelligence Research, better called as FAIR, lab in Paris has been at the forefront of advancing scientific research. We lead breakthroughs in medicine, climate science, and conservation, and have kept our commitment to open and reproducible science. As we look to the next decade, our focus is on achieving advanced machine intelligence, AMI, and using it to power products and innovation for the benefit of everyone. So, as you see, this technology from 20 years ago now is being developed here in America and also in Europe, on Paris, France, okay? From our partners. Mr. Macron up there, he's a cool dude, okay? So, today, in collaboration with the Basque Center of Cognition, Brain and Language, a leading interdisciplinary research center in San Sebastian, Spain. We are excited to share two breakthroughs that show how AI can help advance our understanding of human intelligence, leading us closer to AMI. Bye bye. See you soon. Okay. Building on our previous work toward decoding the perception of images and speech from brain activity, we are sharing research that successfully decodes the production of sentences from non invasive brain recordings, accurately decoding up to 80% of characters, and thus often reconstructing full sentences solely from brain signals. In a second study, we're detailing how AI can also help us understand these brain signals and clarify how the brain effectively transforms thoughts into sequences of words. This important research wouldn't be possible without the close collaboration we have fostered in the neuroscience community. Today, Meta is announcing a 2.2 million donation to the Rothschild Foundation Hospital. Again, to the Rothschild's Foundation Hospital in support of this work. This continues our track record of working closely with some of the leading research institutions in Europe, including Neurospin, CEA, INRA, ENS, PSL, and CNRS. These partnerships will continue to be important to us as we work together to explore how this breakthrough can make a difference in the world and ultimately improve people's lives. So, we are doing research in United States of America, Spain, and France. All it's just we're in the same team, okay? Thank God, right? Um, but also, this technology is being developed also as well in China and Russia and everywhere that there's like artificial intelligence is being used. Okay, using artificial intelligence to decode language from non-invasive recordings of the brain. Every year, millions of people suffer from brain lessons that can prevent from communicating. Current approaches show that communication can be restored without neuroprosthesis, feeding command signal to an AI decoder. However, invasive brain recording techniques like stereostatic electronic palography. Let me repeat that word again. Hello, 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 everybody. Stereostatic electroencephalographic and electrocardiography require neurosurgical interventions and are difficult to scale. Until now, using non invasive approaches has typically been limited by the noise complexity of signals they record. For our first study, we used both MEG and EEG, non invasive devices that measures the magnetic and electric field elec- electricized by neural activity. The record 35 healthy volunteers at BCBL, while their type sentences, we then train a new AI model to reconstruct the sentences solely from the brain signals. On on new sentences, our AI model decoded up to 80% of the characters typed by the participants recorded with MEG, at least twice better than what can be obtained with the classic EEG system. Okay, and right in there, this is some of the research that is being conducted on around the world. How the brain turn thoughts into words. So there's is a machine that they're being utilizing. This is like the coders and the Basque Center in Spain. Okay, this is how they're conducting. And these are researchers when I am showing you live in the screen right now. Um, but this is just some technology that other people are doing. We're more advanced than what you're currently seeing in here. Okay, so this is out what is being decoded. The EMG scan has 80. Uh, el cliente establece las conexiones and they're like these are the different technologies they're being using and the research that are currently conducting. You can see with your own eyes on my screen if you're on YouTube, X, or Twitch, you're able to see this right now live as I place these videos. So you can see the technology and You cannot say I'm inventing this, okay? Because you're watching it with me right now. Okay, I'm not crazy or nothing like that. I just know the what's going on, okay? So this video was produced by Meta and is publicly out there for you to find out and see what are currently the research is conducted on different parts around the world. Okay, this research could create a new avenue for non-invasive brain-computer interfaces. Again, BCIs. Okay, you're talking about the same thing that we've been discussing for a few years now. Okay, brain-computer interfaces to help restore communication for those who have lost the ability to speak. But several important challenges remain before this approach can be applied in clinical settings. The first is performance related. Decoding performance is still imperfect. The second is more practical because MEG requires subjects to be in magnetically shielded room and remain still finally. While this research was done with healthy volunteers, future work will need to be done to explore how it could benefit people suffering from brain injuries. Using artificial intelligence to understand how the brain forms language, we're also sharing a breakthrough toward understanding the neural mechanisms that coordinate language production in the human brain. Studying the brain during speech has always proved extremely challenging for neuroscience, in part because of simple technical problem. Moving the mouth and tongue heavily corrupts neuroimaging signals. Again, this is another video of the MEG scan. It has the reporting 80% accuracy. I know based on my research has more than 80% accuracy. Okay, to explore how the brain. This is just basically, we are 80%. We need more funding. Okay. So let's send more funding to these guys to explore how the brain transforms thoughts into integrate sequences of motor actions. We use AI to help interpret the MEG signals where participants type sentence. By taking 1,000 snapshots of the brain every second, we can pinpoint the precise moment where thoughts are turned into words, syllables, and even individual letters. Our study shows that the brain generates a sequence of representations that starts the most abstract level of representations, the meaning of a sentence, and progressively transform them into a myriad of actions such as the actual finger movement of the keyboard. Importantly, the study also revealed how the brain correlatively and stimulatively represents successive words and actions. Our result shows that the brain uses dynamic neural code, a special neural mechanism that changes successive representation while maintaining each of them over the long time period. The brain generates hierarchy of linguistic representation before typing each word. Phrases, GPT-2. We're using here GPT-2, llamas, all the different AI models the AI has and available for the research. Um, so word size, spacey, fact, text, syllable, and the letter OHE. These are how the brain signal travels and is being from the different representation of each word in the hierarchy of linguistic phrase, word, syllable, and letter. And you can see here in the chart on analytically how each of the segments of the word, phrase, word, syllable, and the letter are, it takes on seconds, in milliseconds as well. Okay. So we're talking about this happens so fast that it's not even a second. Okay. This is like -1, -7.5, -0.50, -0.25. Zero is the onset, and then it move after the it happens. So there's like a mechanism in your brain that you build when you're talking. It goes like your thought goes through a process all the way to assembly, and then assembly construct and put all the vocabulary that you have in your brain, constructs the sentence of the paragraph or whatever script you want to come out of your mouth, and assembly takes all the letters and put it all together and comes out of your mouth. You before you think, before you talk, before you everything, this happens so fast. That's when All this happens when you're a kid, when you're a baby, you start learning the vocabulary and start learning to talk, and eventually all this happens. We have our brain is the most efficient machine and computer ever created, okay, by the universe. Cracking the neural code of language remains one of the major challenges of AI and neuroscience. The capacity for language, which is specific to humans, has endowed our species with an ability to reason, learn, and accumulate knowledge like no other animal on the planet. Understanding its neural architecture and its computational principles is thus an important path to developing AMI. So we are developing multiple technologies, okay? Um, Artificial intelligence, this AMI, uh, shit. Well, we'll talk about this another time, okay? Um, Enabling health breakthrough with open source AI, okay? At Meta, we're in a unique position to help solve some of the world's biggest challenges using AI. Our commitment to open source has enabled the artificial intelligence community to build on our models to achieve their own breakthroughs. Last month, we shared how Bright Heart, a company based in France, is using Dino V2 as part of its AI software to help clinicians identify or rule out signs suggestive of congenital heart defects in fetal heart ultrasounds. Uses are on babies. Dino V2 is a model from Meta as well. Okay. Last year, Brightheart achieved FDA 510K clearance for its software, which they attribute in part to Meta open source contributions. We're also sure how Virgo, a company based in the United States, is using DinoV2 to analyze endoscopy video, achieving state-of-the-art performance in a wide range of artificial intelligence benchmarks for endoscopy, such as anatomical landmark classification, disease severity score for ulcerative colitis, and polyp segmentations. Basically, we are also with all these breakthroughs that we're going to see in the next 5 years, 10 years to come. We will be able to, around the world, all these researchers are going to be able to all these models from Meta and all the models available from other companies like ChatGPT and others. Um, we're going to be able to diagnose cancer. We're going to be able to fight a lot of illnesses that until today we have not been able to tap. And this is a new industry of healthcare that are being developed right now. So if you're looking for invest, these are the good things to invest because it's going to be in the future. Okay. As we look towards the next 10 years, it is exciting to think about how the breakthroughs we share today could benefit the great good. We look forward to continuing the important conversation we're having with the community as we move forward together to tackle some of the society's greatest challenge. You can read the paper from Brain to Text, read the paper from Thought to Auction, and let's see. Let's see. We're here back again. This is the basically we're going about and talking about the evolution of semantic brain decoders, where are the BCIs and where everything is standing. Okay. Um, let's see. So some of the models that they're available to conduct some research. I have conduct research on Yama, on the beginnings of Yama 2, Yama 3. I played with those models a few years ago. Also, Meta has Blender, but Meta's conversational AI trained for chatbots and dialogue systems. Uh, Robert A. Robustly optimized BERT retrained approach. A variant of BERT. BERT, it used to be Google. Um, Bidirectional encoder representation from transformers focus on improving training techniques. PyTorch library, while not a model itself, PyTorch is Meta's deep learning library that widely used for developing AI models. Uh, OPT, Open Penetrated Transformer, Meta language model family designed for efficient and ethical use on LLP tasks. Dino, and Dino, is being used right now for semantic brain decoders. It's a self-supervised learning model for visualized representation learning. So, and the acronym of DINO is Distilled Knowledge from Noisy Labels. Uh, you have an OpenAI. The OpenAI have GPT-4, GPT 3.5, GPT-3 Codex, DALE 2, Clip, Whisper, and ChatGPT. Okay. Uh, GPT-4 Generative Pre-trained Transformer 4, the most recent model on GPT series known for its advanced language capabilities, including improvement performance in tasks requiring reasoning, translations, and more. GPT 3.5 is a previously to GPT-4 used to early interaction with ChatGPT, famous for its conversational abilities and wide applications. GPT-3 Generative Pre-trained Transformer 3, a milestone model known for generative human-like text and for being foundational for many AI applications in text generation. Codex, a derivative of GPT-3, specifically fine-tuned to generate an understanding code, powers GitHub Copilot. DAO2, an image generational model based on text prompts text to image AI clip conversive language. Imagine pre-training, an AI model designed to understand images and text together. You use in conjunction with other models like DAO E. Whisper opens AI speech recognition system that can transcribe and translate speech into multiple language. And ChatGPT, a conversational AI built on GPT 3 and GPT-4, and we are at ChatGPT 5.2. And if you are getting the beta, we are also already on ChatGPT 6. Okay. Um, then these are these are two independent AI corporations that are doing research, but they're talking and they're sharing the data as well, which is benefits the whole community of researchers and the technology size of it. Okay. Um, let's see. So basically, cloud-based AI platforms, we have Google AI, TensorFlow, Palm, and Bard. Okay, TensorFlow, Google's open source machine learning library, and Palm is Pathway Language Model. Google's advanced language model focused on multitasking and higher efficiency, and Bard is the Google chatbot AI model designed for conversations. You have Microsoft AI with Azure AI and GPT-4 via OpenAI API. Azure AI, a suite of cloud-based artificial service offering everything from machine learning to cognitive service. Azure Azure Cognitive Service include tools for vision, language understanding, and speech recognition. GPT-4 available through Microsoft integration with OpenAI through API access. We have IBM Watson, known for AI-driven applications across industries, including healthcare, finance, and customer service. IBM Watson is also being used inside of Meta and ChatGPT. There's like everybody's using all technologies because this is part of the research. You see what works and what doesn't work. We also have Jeff Bezos with Amazon Web Services, AWI AI, which in my opinion, they have a lot of years of experience. Okay. SageMaker, AWS machine learning services for building, training, and deploying models. Lex is a conversational AI service for building chatbots and recognition images and video analysis of AI. So if you know, Jeff Bezos started with Alexa. We know Alexa has been for a while, and now Rufus is an AI power shopping assistant is integrated into Amazon shopping app. So if you haven't seen Rufus, you can go to download the Amazon new app in your phone, and you will see that they have Rufus there, and say you will can interact directly with Rufus as well. Uh, Amazon Q, a generative AI assistant specifically designed for business, enterprise, and developers, and Project Amelia, an AI assistant designed to help third-party sellers on the platform with an example of improving product listing. So everything is getting used with artificial intelligence. Okay, and Amazon in the AW side of AI, we have SageMaker, which is AWS machine learning service for building, training, and deploying models. Lex, that we already discover, a conversational AI service for building chatbots and recognition, image and video analysis AI. Alibaba Cloud AI, that's now in China, okay, offers a variety of AI services, including image recognition, voice recognition, machine learning platforms. So if you go to Alibaba Cloud AI, you can tap into China's technology for artificial intelligence and do your own research as well. We also have Oracle Cloud AI, provides tools for enterprise AI applications, including chatbot, machine learning models, and NLP-based systems. Okay, so let's see. Everybody now is getting all the information of so what does this mean for the real world? Real world applications of semantic brain decoding. Okay. We have medical applications, scholarly references, and psychological and cognitive research. Uh, what does this mean for the real world? Well, the implications are wide reaching, especially in the fields of healthcare, communications, and assistive technologies. Um, One of the things that Meta is trying to do is like they have these Ray-Bans, artificial intelligence sunglasses that they can communicate with your brain, and those little sunglasses communicate that you can like turn off video, you can turn on and turn off lights. This is some technologies that are going to continue to develop in the next few years, and we will discuss them here in my channel with all of you, learning and getting ahead of the curve on artificial intelligence, because not a lot of people are discussing artificial intelligence like this. Okay. Um, Medical applications. One of the most immediate application is for individuals with severe speech and motor impairments. For example, people that with locked-in syndromes, where person completely aware but unable to move or speak. Okay, just as like people with you're a totally healthy person, you're a father, you have kids, you have family, and suddenly boom, you get in a car accident or you get a stroke. And the medical applications, this is a good way for this technology of artificial intelligence help families and people around the world. Okay, so we are going to move and also prosthetics as well. Prosthetics before was just opening and closing. Now that you can type, you can move your hands more symmetrical, like a real hand. Okay. Um, aphasia is a condition that impairs language ability, could potentially use brain decoding to communicate directly through thoughts. Alzheimer patients, people that are in homes, people with your loved ones, your grandma, your granddad, people that their brains are not behaving correctly and they are um, now in the end of life technically, and we're going to be able to have our folks and our families with us, being able to communicate and be able to be with them more than what we currently had in the past um, 2000 years. Okay, so this is like really great at technology coming up. 2021 study in the IEEE transactions of neural systems and rehabilitation engineering highlighted the potential of neuroprosthetics that translate brain signals into speech or text, giving these individuals a voice again. Again, people are going to have voice again, okay? And this is very, very, very advanced, okay? That you lose your ability to communicate and suddenly you can purchase and have a system that you can communicate with your family and continue with your life. Okay. Psychological and cognitive research, imagine being able to decode cognitive states or emotions in real time. Semantic brain decoders could help psychologists study mental health by allowing them to observe patterns associated with conditions like depression or PTSD. By analyzing brain activity related to specific emotion, researchers can develop more accurate diagnosis tools. Ethical, societal, and future consideration. The ethical consideration in brain decoding. While the technology potential is vast, there is a serious technical, ethical consideration surrounding semantic brain decoding that we need to address. Privacy concerns. I have a problem with that too. Okay. Privacy concerns the ability of reading someone's thoughts raises questions about mental privacy. Brain activity is incredibly personal, and without strict ethical safeguard, there's a real risk, okay, that this technology could be misused either for surveillance or extract private information without your consent. And that's right in there. Um, 1 second. So basically, Fourth Amendment and Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Here, how this amendment relate. Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable searches and seizures. The Fourth Amendment protects citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. If private information is extracted from an individual or their property without consent or a valid warrant, it constitutes a violation of this amendment. The government generally needs probable cause and a warrant to obtain personal data unless certain exceptions apply, such as a consent from the individual. So, for example, unwarranted surveillance or unjustified data collection without the individual consent could be a violation of the Fourth Amendment protection against reasonable searches. So I do have a problem with this technology. It's being currently used by Jared Schultzmat and his coworkers at the Department of Homeland Security and FBI. That they're currently violating the Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable searches and seizures of all the residents of Miami-Dade County and the state of Florida, where I reside. I do have a problem with that. I also, the Fifth Amendment protections against self-incrimination. The Fifth Amendment provides individuals the right not to incriminate themselves if private or sensitive information is extracted in a way that could lead to self-incrimination or violation of one personal privacy. It might infringe upon this right. Additionally, is if force or coerce extracting private information may also violate a person's due process right under the Fifth Amendment. So, basically, these are the where we at right now. With what this technology is currently is being currently used and you know also people are enriching themselves with people's bitcoins because in a wallet you need your password. You think about your password. You can get at night when you're asleep and you're sleeping with this technology coming to your brain and start talking with you while you're asleep. Remember, you are asleep, but your brain is always working. Okay, so this technology comes when you're asleep and extract information. I'm going to give you a simple uh, uh, a simple how I see things. Uh, for example, you have a Bitcoin. What is the Bitcoin value? Bitcoin it was way high maybe a year ago, went all the way to 116,000, 123,000, and now is half of that. Okay, so basically a lot of big fish made money, cash out, and that's the pattern, going up and going down. Some people make money, some people lose. They lose their ass on Bitcoin. So a lot of people pulling out of Bitcoin is that. Okay, with the technology. Let's discuss about Bitcoin and their cryptocurrency that are not insured because they are fundamentally different from traditional financial assets. Here are the few reasons why. Decentralization. Bitcoin operates on a decentralized network, meaning there is no central authority like a bank or insurance company that can oversee, protect, or insure. Traditional insurance is typically provided by centralized entities that can manage and regulate the risks involved in the case of Bitcoin. No single entity or authority can guarantee protection. Okay. Lack of regulatory framework. Cryptocurrencies, included Bitcoin, falls outside of the traditional financial regulatory framework. In many countries, insurance companies typically require clear regulatory guidelines to assess risk and underwrite policies, which is challenging when dealing with the largely unregulated digital asset. Volatility. Bitcoin is highly volatile, with prices often fluctuating dramatically within short periods. This has created a challenge for insurers who will need to account for the extreme price swings and uncertainty and volatility of the market. Insuring something that could lose significant value in a matter of hours or days without extremely difficult. Uh, Custody risk. Bitcoin is stored in digital wallets, and the person or entity holding that private keys to those wallets control the Bitcoin. If the private keys are lost, stolen, or compromised, the Bitcoin is gone forever, and there is no way to recover it. Traditional insurance policy typically cover physical assets or assets with a third party, example bank or financial institution that can be held accountable, which is not the case with Bitcoin. Basically, the way that I describe this, do you have $20 in your pocket? You you can open your wallet You can pull out your $20, right? You can see it, you can touch it. Now, if you have Bitcoin, show me that. You cannot do it. It's well, it's in the computer. It's a bunch of numbers. It's 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 there. You have to trust me, and I have to trust you. You see what I mean? Like, but the way that we have always done business traditionally from many centuries is I give you something and you give me something back. Okay. With Bitcoin, it's just a bunch of numbers that you translate, and not everybody are good with this technology. Um, and and the security concerns what Bitcoin's transactions are secure on the blockchain. Okay, they are completely secure on the blockchain. Users are responsible for securing their own wallets and private keys. If they fail to do so, they bear the risk of theft of loss. Traditional insurance often cover loss due to theft, but in cases of Bitcoin, if someone's wallet is hacked, that's the question. Right? That's the what you need to think about is if someone wallet is hacked or they lose their private keys, there is no recourse. Okay, no centralized guarantee, unlikely bank deposits, which are insured by government entities like the FDIC. In the US, Bitcoin does not have a central backing or guarantee from a government or institution. This makes it difficult to offer insurance in the traditional sense. Okay, so banks are going to fight Bitcoins. Okay, but at the same time, they're going to show that they're supporting Bitcoin. Okay, uh, and also the blockchain, the ledger. Okay, it's a good technology because on the ledger you can see the transactions. Okay, so the blockchain is not the problem. Bitcoin is the problem. So how your keys and your password are compromised. Okay, let's say that you decided to put your password and so you can remember your password. Your password is 20 or 30 or 50 characters and you have memorized those 50 characters because remember if you lose your password you cannot go into your into your wallet. So once that you have all your password when you're asleep, this new technology of semantic brain decoders come into your sleep, ask you about your password, and you say your password while you're asleep. A hacker or so federal employee with ability to use this technology goes in, extracts those bitcoins, and now when you wake up, you're not going to look in your wallet. You didn't use your wallet, right? Now, 6 months later, you decide to do a transaction with your Bitcoin wallet, and when you open your wallet, everything was gone 6 months ago, and you don't even remember what happened. And then who are you going to call? Hmm? If something gets stolen like that, your first thing is you're going to call your police department, and your police department is going to tell you that that is fraud, that they're unable to help you out, but they're going to direct you to IC3, which is the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. And when you go to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, they're going to tell you, well, you can fill this paperwork. We will try to locate your bitcoins, but they're not insured with the FDIC, and we're very limited on what we can do. And you lose in the game of trying to get rich with the technology. And this is how I know this is the future of stealing all the bitcoins around the world. Okay, they're not insured by no one. There's no one behind them, so uh, there's a lot of powerful people that they want those bitcoins gone. Okay, and and then basically that right in there is giving you what is currently happening. So let's say that you are a federal employee working for XYZ three letters agency. okay, and you went to a school and you have a badge and a shiny badge, but you have access to this semantic brain decoder, but it also happens that you are part of the department that do fraud investigations, you have the perfect crime because there's no oversight on these three words, letters of agency. Their employees are very quiet about the whole situation. And, you know, who's going to catch the guy that works on the three-letter word organization inside of the federal government? Who is going to catch them if they are the one that investigate fraud? Nobody, like, do you think these guys are going to put themselves in their handcuffs and going to go in front of the judge and say, oh, we've been stealing bitcoins for the past 10 years, you know? So, so, you know, when the bitcoins came into my life, I had the opportunity to get bitcoins for $1, $2, $3, $5. I was a ex-licensed banker, and I knew how the world of business worked. Um, I said this is going to be just like a roller coaster ride, going up and going down. Eventually, went all the way to 120. It's coming down to 60,000. Eventually, some more people are going to come in, um, and basically they're going to just to continue with the roller coaster and getting more people and getting their bitcoins, and nobody's going to stop that. So if you have bitcoins, my advice that I have always give to everyone, just put it on something you can hold, gold, silver, uh, cash, CDs, something that you can just put it in your home, under your bed, your pillow. Um, you open that pillow, you open your hands, and there's the $20 again, that you can like go out and buy food and whatever. Uh, so that's how I see it. But as always, you can see it differently, and I'm pretty cool with that too as well. You know what I mean? That's the cool thing about living in the United States of America. You can see things your way, and I can see things my way too as well. So, let's see here. Um, Psychological and cognitive research. We talk about that, and then we're talking about the ethical considerations in brain decoding. Privacy concerns, the ability to read someone's thoughts, raise the question of mental privacy. The Journal of Law and Bioscience of 2021 outlines the legal and ethical challenge of BCIs, emphasizing the need of informed consent and robust data protection measures to safeguard individual thoughts and intentions. Autonomy and consent ethical guidelines must ensure that individuals retain control over their brain data. Informed consent is paramount. This means individuals should fully understand how the brain data will be used and have the ability to withdraw consent at any time. Without this, the technology could be used to infringe on personal autonomy. The future of semantic brain decoding. Look forward, the future of semantic brain decoding is incredibly promising, but still face many challenges. Real time portable decoding. One major area of research is making brain decoding technologies more portable and capable of providing real time data. Currently, fMRI machines are large, expensive, and require stationary subject, but researchers are investing more affordable portable solutions like EEGs and near infrared stereoscopy and IRS, and all that technology is right here in your phone. Okay, it's been developed in applications that can be used in your phones. Okay, because what is that we always carry? We carry a phone where applications get into your phone without your consent in the back end, and those are the technologies that are being developed. Okay. um A 2021 study in the IEEE transactions of biomedical engineering explored the challenges of real-time EEGs decoding, which could provide a more immediate and accessible alternative to fMRI. Uh, Integration with artificial intelligence model, future advancement with CAI models become better at predicting thoughts and intentions with less training data, enabling us to understand cognitive states and emotions more quickly and accurately. Researchers are exploring how reinforcement learning can be integrated into brain decoding models to improve predictions and accuracy. Scholars reference an artificial intelligence in medicine on 2020 discuss how transformers and recurrent neural networks RNN are being used to enhance decoding accuracy and speed, and how this can be applied to practical brain computer interfaces. Uh, Basically, I'm going to just cut it in here. This is the closing remarks and open discussions. To conclude, the field of semantic brain decoding is still uh, in infancy. Okay, this is still on baby steps with artificial intelligence behind it. So baby steps on artificial intelligence is not baby steps, okay? But still, this is new technology that is still in infancy but holds enormous potential. From healthcare application for those with a speech and motor impairment to possible changes in how we communicate with machines, this technology is poised to change the future of human interaction and AI integration. Uh, and basically, also, this technology is going to be used for national security. Um, Something that I have seen in the news recently here in the United States of America. In 2001, we saw how buildings in America fall, and we went after the terrorists. Okay, here in America, there's no terrorists anymore, in my opinion, because of this technology. Okay, all these terrorists, they're being rounded up, and they're either in jail in Cuba or they're in jails around the world, okay? Or they are in their countries. Um, the next wave, they're coming after American people, in my opinion. And this is what I have been able to see in the past year and a half or 2 years. Consecutively, you see American citizens being the target of the Department of Homeland Security. And due to this technology, and due to the funding and how the Congress work and how the laws are out there, the Department of Homeland Security has the ability to abuse you. Uh, I don't know who is going to intervene, either the FBI, the CIA, the White House, Congress, but today, the Department of Homeland Security, in my opinion, is being very irresponsible utilizing these systems. I don't think that the Federal Bureau of Investigation or the CIA are utilizing these systems the way that the Department of Homeland Security are using them, because the Department of Homeland Security is a organization within our government that is still in baby steps as well, is in infancy compared to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the three words that that you can see: DHS, Department of Homeland Security. Those are also three words. Three words also are CIA, NSA, FBI. There are multiple agencies that have three words. Okay, but all these different organizations that I have used and in my conduct of my research and I talking about them. Number one, I have respect for them, but seeing a new organization within our government with all this power and how this organization get their employees, and how some of these employees got their positions. I know for a fact that I know people that are working for the Department of Homeland Security that they have a bachelor's degree from the University of Phoenix, but they did not complete it, the University of Phoenix. Someone else did their homeworks, someone else did all their work, and they receive a bachelor's degree. And those are the guys that today are using this technology. I do have a problem with that. And if we continue with not oversight and and we don't have if we don't get the bull by the horn and we don't control these organizations of three letters, they don't have oversight because there's no laws or nothing is being created. The direct people that are going to get hurt are the American citizens or anyone inside of our country or anywhere around the world. Again, thank you for listening to me. I'm going to shut down this transmission and I am going to start coming later on to do, we'll talk more about artificial intelligence, and we're going to talk about all these new technologies that as we continue to learn are going to get more information so you know how these technologies are being used and what is the new advancement and achievements that we have in the artificial intelligence realm. Okay, my name is Victor Rosario. Thank you for listening to everything. And again, I am the next mayor of Miami-Dade County. um, Vote for me on November 7th, 2028. You can go to my website at victormiamidadecountymayor.com so you can learn more information that I am posting on my blog for Miami-Dade County. See if you're from Miami-Dade County or the state of Florida, thank you for listening. I love you. Have a good one. Bye bye.